Imagine waking up one morning and suddenly everything you own, your savings, your salary, your investments, has changed in value overnight. Not because of a war, not because of a natural disaster, but because of a currency that hasn't even been born yet. A currency being quietly designed by some of the largest nations on Earth. A currency that some believe will destroy the dollar, and others believe is the greatest illusion of the century. Today, we are diving into the financial war the world is not ready for. BRICS versus the dollar. How did this war start? Who is winning? And the real question, what does this mean for your money? Let's begin. After World War II, the world needed a stable currency to rebuild. And that's where the Bretton Woods Agreement came in. It declared the US dollar the only currency directly convertible into gold, making the dollar the center of the global financial system. But in 1971, everything changed. President Nixon ended the gold convertibility. The old system collapsed. Yet the United States wasn't willing to lose global control, so it made one of the most powerful deals in history. It went to Saudi Arabia and said, "We will protect you militarily if you price all your oil in US dollars." Saudi Arabia agreed. Then the rest of OPEC followed. This created what we now call the petrodollar, a system where every nation, whether it likes it or not, needs dollars to buy energy. And from that moment, the dollar wasn't just a currency. It became the bloodstream of the global economy.
When you control the global currency, you control global power. And the United States used this power with precision. Countries that went against U.S. geopolitical interests faced financial consequences. Iran, Russia, Venezuela, North Korea, and many others. The weapon wasn't bombs. It was sanctions. Sanctions that freeze money, block international transfers, cripple trade, and sometimes destroy entire economies. This is the world order controlled by the dollar. And it worked for decades. Until a group of nations finally said, "Enough." And that group is the BRICS.
But there is a silent weapon even more subtle than sanctions, the export of inflation. Since the dollar is the global reserve, when the U.S. Federal Reserve prints trillions of dollars to stabilize its own economy, it doesn't just affect Americans. It devalues every dollar held in central banks from Riyadh to Shanghai. In essence, the rest of the world is paying for U.S. government spending. Every time the dollar loses purchasing power, your savings in Cairo, Mumbai, or Sao Paulo take a hit. For the BRICS nations, de-dollarization isn't just about politics, it's about financial survival. They are tired of being the silent backers of a debt they didn't create.
The internet headlines say, BRICS creating a new currency to replace the dollar. But here's the truth. There is no single BRICS currency yet. What does exist is far more strategic and far more dangerous for the dollar. Number 1. Alternative payment systems. China and Russia built systems to bypass SWIFT. BRICS Pay is being tested for digital transfers. Number 2. Trading in local currencies. China, Russia, India, Brazil. UAE, China. Many trade deals no longer use the dollar. Number 3. A shared financial safety net. NDB Bank. The BRICS New Development Bank lends money without using USD. And number 4. Gold accumulation at historic levels. BRICS nations are buying gold aggressively, a sign they're preparing for a future less dependent on the dollar. So is there a single BRICS currency? Not really. But the real strategy is de-dollarization, making the dollar just one option, not the dominant option. And that is the true threat.
While the world waits for a digital BRICS coin, something much older is happening behind the curtain, a massive migration back to gold. In the last 24 months, BRICS central banks have been buying gold at rates not seen since the 1960s. Why? Because gold is the anti-dollar. It has no nationality. It cannot be frozen by a bank in New York, and it cannot be printed out of thin air. The real strategy might not be a new currency at all, but a return to a commodity-backed system. If BRICS starts pricing oil, wheat, and minerals in gold or gold-backed credits, the era of paper promises will come to a violent end. They aren't just building a new system, they are reclaiming the old one.
We are entering a new financial world, and the future can unfold in 3 possible scenarios. Scenario 1, slow decline. The dollar weakens gradually, but remains strong. Inflation fluctuates. The middle class feels more pressure. Scenario 2, multi-currency world. The dollar, euro, yuan, and BRICS systems share global influence. Your savings might lose value faster than before. Scenario 3, the shock event. A geopolitical crisis suddenly triggers a major shift away from the dollar. This would hit savings, imports, real estate, and global markets. Even if this is unlikely, ignoring it is dangerous. So what should you do? Here are realistic, practical steps. 1. Diversify. Don't rely on a single currency or a single asset. 2. Keep part of your wealth in real assets. Gold, real estate, hard assets that governments cannot print. 3. Watch the signals. BRICS gold reserves, dollar-based sanctions, oil deals outside USD, BRICS pay expansion. 4. Learn how money works in a multipolar world, because the financial system of the last century is not the one your children will inherit.
The world is changing. The financial map is being rewritten, and the currency wars happening today will decide who rises and who falls in the next 50 years. The question now is, are you preparing or just watching? Share your thoughts in the comments. Is the BRICS system truly a threat to the dollar? And what would you do if the global financial structure changed suddenly? If you want more deep analytical videos like this, subscribe to the channel, because the next episode will reveal financial truths the mainstream won't touch. Thank you for watching, and stay prepared.